Hello everyone, I'm Leon Thomas Lewick. Here's your political news roundup for Tuesday, November 26th. An important component of the Affordable Care Act will get a review from the Supreme Court. The High Court said it would review provisions of the act requiring employers of a certain size to provide free insurance coverage for birth control or other reproductive health services. A number of companies are claiming that that requirement violates their religious beliefs. More than 50 lawsuits have already been filed against the provision. The Supreme Court is expected to hear oral arguments in March and issue a ruling by late June. Last week, China declared it owned the airspace over a series of disputed islands in the East China Sea. The move angered Japan, which also claims those islands. Today, the United States stepped in, or more specifically, flew into the picture. The Pentagon announced that 2 U.S. military planes were flown over the disputed region on what was described as a training exercise. The planes were not armed, but they also ignored China's edict that it be informed in advance of any flights through the region. A Pentagon spokesman said no advance notice was given. He said the mission was uneventful and brought no contact or reaction from China. The U.S. military said last week it had no intention of following China's demands and called them a destabilizing move to alter the region's status quo. Back home, pressure is mounting on Florida Congressman Trey Radel to resign. The state's Republican leadership called for Radel to leave office in the wake of his guilty plea last week to cocaine charges. The freshman congressman was arrested in October after buying coke from an undercover agent. He entered a rehab program, took a leave of absence, and is donating his salary to charity. But the state's GOP is saying that's not enough. Republican Chairman Lenny Curry said Florida's 19th district needs a congressman who is 100% focused on the district. He said Radel should step down and focus on rehabilitation and on his family. Governor Rick Scott said he supports the call for resignation. And the roster of people successfully signing up for insurance under the Affordable Care Act now includes none other than House Speaker John Boehner. Boehner has been among the program's biggest critics and is pushing to have it repealed. He called photographers into his office Monday to document his inability to get through the government's website and sign up, but after some delays, he was indeed able to enroll. Boehner called the experience frustrating. He'll pay $449 a month. That's your political news roundup for Tuesday, November 26th. I'm Leon Thomas Lewick. Stay logged on to rttnews.com for the latest political, economic, and stock market news from around the world all day long.